All right, so check this out here. If I select the 6 lines here where I want to change this into a mapping instead of an array in YAML here, watch what happens here if I just apply a simple command here. Look at that, I've got everything converted. I got rid of the minus sign on the beginning of the line. I changed over to a colon in the middle, and then I even wrapped the values with double quotes. And I did that all with a single command here. And that's thanks to using something that's called a macro. So basically, the idea revolves around taking a task or a series of keystrokes or commands and repeating those. For example, I've got this array here of environment variables inside of my YAML file. Now, if I wanted to change this over to use a different syntax here, to use the mapping syntax to replace the equal sign with a colon, and then on the front of the line here, get rid of the dash. If I wanted to change all of these over, it'd be a lot of work to go through line by line. So instead of doing that, I'll undo all of that here. Instead, I'm going to record the keystrokes to do that to the very first line, and then I'm going to take that recording and apply it to all the other lines. And so to start this macro out, I hit the Q key to start recording. I then use the A key here. You can see it says recording in the lower left, and that's going to record into the A register. After that, I just need to go about my task here. So I'm going to jump to the beginning of the line here, and I'll get rid of the dash with D and W to delete that word. Then I'll go ahead and use the F key to find the equal sign. After that, then I could use R to replace this with a colon, and then I could append with A and a space here. Then once I've done that now, if I hit the escape key, that ends my sequence of commands. It also brings me out into normal mode. So now that I'm done with the edit for this line, I can just hit the Q key again here. That stops recording. You can see recording is gone now. And then I can just come down to the next line here. And if I use the @ sign and then A for the A register, you can see it applies the command. And of course, down to the next line here, @ sign and then A, again, it applies that. And of course, I could continue on here and finish the rest of these lines. Or if I just back up here with undo a little bit here, I can bring everything back to where I started at. And now if I go into visual mode with V here, I can select this line as well as the next 5 lines as well. And so now that I've got all these selected, I can actually use a shortcut here with the @ and the A to apply that command to each and every line that I had selected. And so just like that, everything is transformed. So as you can see here, this is an incredibly powerful way to be able to take a series of commands that are one-off for this particular use case here to transform an array into a map in YAML. So you can just set that up pretty quick, use it, and then you can move on with your day. Of course, if you really like this, you could probably take the recording and you could do something to maybe automate that to plug it into a key map, for example. And so let me show you that actually. Let me show you here. If you use the registers command here, you can look at your registers. And inside of here, you'll see here is the A register right here. And you can see here's the sequence of commands that I performed. So I've got the caret to bring me to the front of the line. I then deleted the first word, which is the dash. I found the equal sign. I then used the R key here to replace the equal sign with a colon. And then over here, I appended, went into the append mode and insert mode. And on the end, then I added a space. And of course, then at the very end, I hit the escape key to come out of insert mode and bring it back to normal mode. That way I'm set up to be able to repeat the series of commands exactly once I move down to the next line. And so maybe just for one more fun pass here, let me come up to the first line here. Let's say I wanted to surround the values here with double quotes. What I could do here, I'll just start at the beginning of the line, which I like to do here if I'm going to try to create a macro that I can reuse across multiple lines. That way I have to move to a different spot in the line when I start recording this here. So let's just get started here with a Q and an A again to record into the A register. What I might do again then is just jump to the start of the line with the caret. After that then, if I hit the capital W key here, I'll jump over to the next word. And then from here, I've got a shortcut set up with an extension where I can do Y, S, I, and then capital W, or actually little w would work here as well. And then I can wrap this in quotes. So I'll hit the shift and the double quote key here. And now that I'm done here, I can just hit the Q key to quit recording. And now if I come down to the next line here, I should be able to just apply that with the @ sign and the A. There you go. And now if I come down here, let's just cheat here, or let's just do this a bit easier. I'll select all 4 lines here and @ and A again. And there you go. I've quoted all the values. So just think about how much fun that would have been if I had to go through each value and put a double quote on the start and the end of the line, or even if I use my little helper on every single one of those values, it's still a lot of keys to type.